Batswana, and welcome to the first episode of Khankgolo. My name is Lorato Masedi and I'll be your host. Since the COVID-19 pandemic was first reported in 2019, a lot has changed. Yes, now we can walk around without our masks, and social distancing, curfews, and lockdowns seem to be a thing of the past. But we all know that many things will never be the same. In fact, COVID is still there, and if the cases start to increase, we could see ourselves back with our masks on and keeping our distance. Jaaka re dule mo segajajeng sa COVID, re lemogile gore ditlhotlhwa tsa sengwe le sengwe di ile magoletsa. Ka March 2022, ne re duela kombi 4 pula 50, mme gone jaana e setse e tsamaya kwa go 7 pula. Leokwane le okeditswe gararo sa le ngwaga o simologa. Borotho, oile, bupi le tse dingwe le tsone di okeditswe. So the question you must be asking is, why? Ditlhotlhwa di isiwa ke eng magoletsa jaaka re bona? We will start with the impact COVID-19 had on our economy. Before the pandemic, our economy was steadily growing, but this changed once the lockdowns were imposed. Because we were not going to work and the economy was effectively shut, food production was reduced. Ra itse hela rotlhe gore dilo ka bontsi re di tsaya kwa Afrika Borwa. Le bone ne ba amilwe ke segajaja se hela jaaka rona. Mo ne ga dira gore ba ise ditlhotlhwa tsa bone kwa godimo. As the country started lifting COVID restrictions in 2021, our supply chain links were dependent on the lockdown strategies of South Africa. For example, suppliers in South Africa had to first meet the needs of their country before they could focus on external markets. So again, whatever came to Botswana, we got at a higher cost. By the end of 2021, when most of the COVID restrictions were lifted, our economy showed recovery and it grew by almost 12.1%. Business was starting to pick up, borders were opening, and economic activity was slowly but surely growing. And then Russia invaded Ukraine. Le ka tswa le ipotsa gore ntwa e kgakala jana go tla jang gore e rame mo go kana kana. E rama jana. During the past 12 months, Botswana experienced 3 fuel price increments, and these were directly caused by the war between Russia and Ukraine. The price of petrol has dropped a bit, but if the situation between Russia and Ukraine continues, including other geopolitical factors such as the tensions between the USA and Saudi Arabia, economic growth in China and India, then we could see fuel price going up again. Russia ke lehatshe le le hituang hela ke Saudi Arabia ka go rekisa oil le lehatshe ka bophara. Morago ga go tlhasela Ukraine ga bone, mahatshe na a emisa go gweba le Russia, ba sa reke sepe sa bone mo go ne go a oketsa ditlhotlhwa tsa oil. Ka bane ba sa kgone go rekisetsa mmaraka o motona wa bone wa EU. Ba ne ba patelesega go hokotsa production ya bone. Mo go ama jang le Motswana. Go oketsega ga ditlhotlhwa tsa petrol, go oketsa ditlhotlhwa tsa tse dingwe. Most African countries, including Botswana, have tried to stay well out of Russia's fight with Ukraine, but we have all still suffered from it. Russia le Ukraine ke mahatshe a isang korong kwa mahatsheng a Afrika. Go oketsega ga ditlhotlhwa bakeng la ntwa, luba le ditlamorago tsa COVID go amile Batswana hela thata, bogolo jang ba ba dikobo dikhutshwane. Go setse go lemogesegile gore ditlhotlhwa tsa borotho le phaleshi di oketsegile mo marekisetsong. But that is just part of the problem. Russia is also one of the world's major fertilizer producers, and the conflict has led to a global shortage, which will lead to further price increments since these shortages will affect our harvest. Motho a ka ipotsa gore ke eng re sa reke oil ko Russia ka ntwa ya bone le Ukraine? Ga gona ha re tsanang teng. Well, this heading tells the story. We have already been warned. The USA, Britain, and EU placed Russia under sanctions, and buying Russian oil could constitute breaking those sanctions. With the situation between Russia and Ukraine deteriorating, Botswana just want to know what can be done to stop this cost of living crisis. Nngwe ya dikgwetlho tse Batswana ba di itemogetseng mo ngwageng tse pedi tse di sa tswang go feta ke koketsego e mashetla ya ditlhwatlhwa. Ha seemo se ka tswalla se sa re tibediwe, re ka itemogela koketsego ya lehuma e ka amang koketsego ya botlhokatsebe. Batswana are now facing food poverty because whether you work or not, most people are unable to buy food on account of high prices. Re le lehatshe la Botswana, ra go tlhoka tharabololo e e sireletsang setšhaba, bogolo jang bahumanegi. The number of people living below the poverty line has increased to 60%, up from 56%. To put these figures into context, it means that the number of people living under the poverty line increased by 103,000 in 2020. That is a big number, more than the population of Muchudi and Lukweng combined. And who knows where that number is today. Unemployment also increased during the pandemic, and today Botswana unemployment rate sits at 26%. We know that this cost of living crisis is being driven by higher transport costs, energy and food prices, and if we do not adopt policies that mitigate this crisis, the situation will continue to worsen. Re ka se ke re baakanye mathata otlhe a re nang nao, mme ga re a tshwanna go lebelela hela re bona tshotlego e kana-kana. The cost of living crisis has surpassed COVID-19 as the main concern for many households. In a country such as Botswana, with a small population, government action to mitigate the cost of living crisis is paramount, and the need for bolder intervention is urgent. It is also important to point out that Botswana's economic response to the COVID-19 pandemic has been ranked top 10 in the world and second only after Egypt in Africa. During the lockdowns caused by the pandemic, the government spent over 400 million pula to help vulnerable families with food supplies and further hundreds of millions to purchase the life-saving vaccines. VAT was also lowered from 14 to 12%. This is designed to help households cope with the price increments. Good nutrition, shelter, and the ability to lead a dignified life are essential foundations of a healthy society. Yes, the road ahead is long and full of challenges, but it is encouraging to see that effort is being made to help Botswana through these very trying times. From myself, Lorato Masedi, and the rest of the Khankgolo team, thank you for watching and we'll see you next time.